Hello and welcome to CX Today. My name is Charlie, and today I'm delighted to be joined by Michael DeJager, Managing Director of Customer Contact Week. Michael, thanks very much for joining us. How are you doing today?
Thank you so much, Charlie. I'm doing really great today. Great to be here.
Yeah, absolutely. And I'm very excited to be previewing the upcoming Customer Contact Week event that takes place in Las Vegas between June the 3rd and June the 6th, 2024. But before we get into the nuts and bolts of it, it'd be great to learn maybe about some of the biggest challenges your visitors are facing today when it comes to their contact center implementations. Yes, as maybe the best way to start this interview.
Perfect. Thank you again for having us. Love to spread the gospel of Customer Contact Week whenever we have the opportunity to do so. We are tackling a ton of challenges on the agenda this year. I think ever since the pandemic, it feels like things have never been moving faster for the customer care industry. And there couldn't be more topics to address, I would say, this year when it comes to workforce, when it comes to technology. When it comes to some of the really top challenges that we're seeing as we organize events and try to produce content that really supports the customer care industry, I feel like 2023 was really talked about as sort of the year of efficiency, but it really seems that that's hitting the fan from sort of a practical and very tactical perspective for the customer service and the contact center industries in particular. There's been a huge push to utilize self-service and automation tools to help support speed and efficiency. Of course, with sort of the advancements in generative AI technology, that's a very interesting topic to discuss right now and what it can do to enhance the customer experience while also sort of reducing costs. When it comes to self-service technology, it's not like a ton of this technology is super new, but it seems like the sort of speed to adopt has become faster than ever out of a real necessity for a variety of different reasons. I feel like as it relates to technology, we've got an expo hall of about 250 exhibitors at Customer Contact Week. Kind of view ourselves as the one-stop shopping mall for all the customer care and contact center solutions for the industry. I will say, as we saw with sort of early day chatbot implementations, whenever the speed picks up on the adoption of a given tech, we see the sort of proper strategy sometimes deteriorate just out of a need to get something over the line. So I think that there's still a lot of operations that are using technology for technology's sake, or perhaps they had a directive from the C-suite to investigate automation technologies, rather than it really sort of being designed, developed, and implemented in a way that supports a really holistic strategy across the operation. So I would say that the best operations have really been able to find and implement a strategy that balances efficiency with the customer experience, something that seems to be quite different in every organization and has been complicated and challenging post-pandemic is procurement in its own right, and how you approach procurement, who governs and looks after technology across the organization. We're actually seeing more technology titles starting to join us at Customer Contact Week, especially in groups, as other technology leaders in the organization are often very tied in to the customer care organization, which sometimes is looked at as this sort of people island in the corner that runs a bit independently. There really does need to be a holistic approach to technology acquisition to make sure that it's really supporting the overall strategy that you're looking to accomplish as an organization. And that isn't just from a cost savings perspective always. I think a lot of times in the shorter term, a lot of technology might not lower costs in the near term, but it can help increase efficiency and reduce perhaps some burnout amongst top level employees to find technology that really supports the organization with a more longer term view as it relates to the tech roadmap. And the last point that I'll touch on is just kind of around employee burnout. It was certainly a huge concern as we emerged from the pandemic. We heard and saw articles about the quiet quitting phenomenon, and the contact center certainly felt a bit of the sting from a lot of turnover coming out of the pandemic, given it was a difficult time to deliver a great customer experience. So employee burnout generally is still very much a concern, even with this distance from the pandemic proper. I think a lot of the efficiency measures that were put in place, if they weren't thought out very thoughtfully, it'll make the agent's job dramatically more difficult and challenging than it is simpler if the technology that you've rolled out to perhaps tackle some of the lower value tasks isn't working appropriately, then you're just going to get more irritated and escalated customers by the time they make it to an agent. And even when the technology does work appropriately, it is loading higher value work that tends to be more challenging and complicated onto the agent. So there's still a lot of focus on making sure that we're looking at solutions to make sure that we mitigate that burnout in a variety of different ways. That includes sort of health and safety or health and wellness programs for employees, particularly frontline managers who are most prone to burnout, that sort of supervisor and manager level that is really directly managing the front line. And it also means that organizations need to continue to reinvent their workforce management. The block scheduling of days gone by isn't necessarily going to serve you moving forward. You need to be a little bit more dynamic about how you resource your customer care operation. So that's what I would say would be some of the top challenges that our folks are facing.
Yeah, absolutely. And lots of really great stuff there. Challenges in regards to rushing to implement new tech, and then all the way to kind of employee burnout and well-being challenges at the end. So lots of really great stuff in there. But it'd be great to now kind of focus on how CCW, Customer Contact Week, is addressing these challenges across its speaker program and the Las Vegas event as a whole.
Absolutely. We've got a lot of content that's brewing in the background for you at Customer Contact Week this year. Sort of the general format of the event this year, it's a Monday through Thursday program with our opening reception opening on Monday, and Martha Stewart will be closing the event on Thursday afternoon, which is super exciting. As it relates to a lot of the sort of bread and butter of the content, we have about 8, I believe, tracks of longer form sessions that are taking place on Tuesday. Some of them are workshop style, tackling these issues head on. We have our CC Women Summit, which is our community for women, by women, for women and allies, to help uplift women in the customer contact space and benchmark with one another. We have our Customer Contact Leadership Institute for up and coming managers and frontline supervisors that are sort of the next generation talent. We also have a technology and innovation focus day that is produced by CCW digital analysts and will speak to a lot of the technology challenges that I was alluding to earlier. On our main conference days on Wednesday and Thursday, we have a lot of amazing main stage speakers. We've been looking to balance more of those sort of EVP, SVP customer care, as well as sort of the CEO type persona with some of the amazing and powerful business leading faces like Martha Stewart, who'll be closing the event, which is very exciting. As it relates to all of the breakout content, this is where all sort of really the rubber meets the road. We have a variety of different formats that we're delivering throughout the event, whether it's sort of a panel or fireside chat interview style presentation. We have what we call big ideas sessions that are similar to sort of TED Talks with visionary advice for the customer contact audience. And then we have a variety of different sponsored content formats too. Across the 17 tracks of content, it's about split half and half. That we call our sponsored thought leadership inventory, where you can hear directly from solution providers that are featuring case studies from some of their most successful clients and how they've been able to implement perhaps that technology or solution in a way that really betters their operation. On more of the practitioner side of the house, we also have a variety of different industry speakers of all types. We have a number of different focus tracks that are focused by industry this year. One of the things I feel like has really emerged from the pandemic is how important that you're very specific to the needs of your industry. So Customer Contact Week is there to support from an industry specificity perspective. That includes tracks in customer experience proper, healthcare, banking and financial services, retail, and hospitality. And then we are also digging in to a variety of different focus topics as it relates to self-service implementations, as well as some of the people side of the contact center as it relates to workforce management, mitigating burnout, and other sort of people topics. We also have a specific track that we call Executive Insights. It's going to feature a wide array of CEOs. Something I think that's really important is the C-suite really is the champion of customer experience in the organization. So we're looking to bring in more sort of CEO types so customer contact leaders can better understand what the C-suite needs to hear and what they need the contact center to be focusing on in order for the operation to be as excellent as possible. So a lot of different things going on as it relates to content at CCW.
Yeah, that's quite the agenda there. That's lots of stuff, something for everyone there, which I think is important when it
Exactly.
comes to these events. But if I had to kind of ask the question about if there's maybe kind of 2 or 3 real flagship speaker sessions for the week, which would be kind of your top picks?
Absolutely. I mean, I'm really proud of the main stage lineup that we have, and so much as it balances some of the executive leadership that you'll see in organizations, as well as some super thought leaders in the space. So there's a few sessions that I think you absolutely can't miss. From a people perspective, we have Johnny Taylor, the president and CEO of SHRM, who's going to be doing a keynote address on our main stage. He's a well-known leader as it relates to people leadership. And we thought it to be really important for customer contact leaders to have a perspective on people leadership that's a little bit wider than just the customer care organization. I think so often we benchmark inter-industry, and there's a lot of best practices and transferable takeaways that we can certainly learn from a people leader proper. So we're really excited to hear from Johnny on that front. We have a couple of other sort of CEO or founder type leaders. One of them being David Glickman, the CEO of Mint Mobile, and another being Angie Bastian, the founder of Boom Chicka Pop. Again, trying to talk a little bit more about the C-suite's role in the end-to-end customer experience, their focus on that as sort of a competitive differentiator as an organization, and then how that sort of practically manifests in their day-to-day, how they deliver that. Another excellent speaker that we have is Dr. Radhika Dirks. We've had her at a previous CCW before, but she's the co-founder and CEO of X Labs, and that's a moonshot factory that does a lot of really thought-provoking research in the generative AI space. In a previous presentation with us, she talked about both some of the benefits and also some of the concerns around all things generative AI and what it can mean for the industry. And for her sort of future timeline, her presentation at this event is going to focus a little bit more on sort of the next generation of what she's calling integrated intelligence, more than artificial, integrated intelligence that pulls together a lot of disparate pieces of automation and of artificial intelligence and what it can do for your industry across all industries. But specifically for the customer care space. So that's some of the top leaders that we have. We also have just a number of who's of sort of Fortune 500 and Fortune 1000 organizations, leaders in customer care that are excited to share their story and also benchmark their challenges across the speaking program.
Yeah, again, lots within that would be great to unpack. And I think there's a real big theme that kind of runs through that of kind of getting more executives into the contact center conversation. And I think that highlights kind of a point that you made at the beginning, the changing role of the contact center away from that kind of siloed part of the organizations and right to the fore of kind of business strategy. So yeah, again, lots of really good stuff. But if people want to find out more about the event, could you perhaps share where they can go for the kind of key details to learn more?
Absolutely. Our website is sort of the one-stop shop for all the goodies about Customer Contact Week Las Vegas. So it's just customercontactweek.com. You'll find more information there, everything from our CCW Excellence Awards program to more information on our venue, hotel, room block, etc. Our complete agenda is up on the website. There's a variety of different downloadable collateral if perhaps you need to share information internally in your organization about what CCW is all about. And then, of course, if you ever have any questions, you can just hit us at our info@customermanagementpractice.com listserv, and a member of our team will be able to follow up with you to answer any specific questions that you have about the event.
Excellent. And what I'll do for everybody that's watching is I'll add a link to the website in the description box to make it even easier to go and learn more. But I think maybe that's a great place to end today's chat. So thanks very much for joining me today, Michael.
Appreciate it. Look forward to seeing you and many others at CCW in June.
Absolutely. CX Today will definitely be there. So thanks again, Michael, and thanks to everybody for watching. Bye for now.
Thank you.